welcome. Thank you for choosing to join this moment of calm, stillness, and presence. This is your time, a sacred pause in the midst of whatever surrounds you. Whether you come weary, curious, or simply seeking peace, know that you are exactly where you need to be right now. Before we begin, take a moment to acknowledge yourself for making space for this practice, to offer yourself the gift of mindfulness, the chance to gently quiet your mind and reconnect with your inner calm. I invite you now to begin settling in. Find a posture that feels comfortable and natural for you. There is no right or wrong way, only the way that feels best for your body and mind in this moment. You might choose to sit on a chair with your feet resting flat on the floor, your back upright but relaxed, your hands resting softly on your lap or knees, or perhaps sitting cross-legged on a cushion or mat feels more comfortable. If you prefer, you can also lie down, letting your whole body rest fully supported by the surface beneath you. Whatever posture you choose, gently make yourself comfortable. Allow your body to soften while still maintaining alertness, a gentle balance between ease and wakefulness. Now begin to bring your attention inward. Notice the points where your body meets the surface below you. Feel the steady support beneath you, whether it's the firmness of a chair, the softness of a cushion, or the welcoming embrace of the floor. Let this support hold you completely. Allow your eyes to close softly, or, if you prefer, keep them half closed, letting your gaze rest gently downward. Turn your awareness to your breath. Notice the natural rhythm of your breathing as it flows, in and out. There is no need to change it. Simply observe. Feel the coolness of the air as it enters through your nostrils. Notice the gentle rise of your chest and belly with each inhale. Then feel the warmth of the breath as it leaves your body. Observe the subtle fall of your chest and belly with each exhale. Allow your breath to be your anchor here and now, a steady, reliable presence that grounds you in this moment. If your mind is restless, wandering into thoughts about the past or future, or distracted by noises and sensations around you, that is perfectly natural. Simply notice that your mind has wandered, and with kindness, gently bring it back to the breath. There is no need to judge yourself or strive for perfection. Each time you return your focus to the breath, you are cultivating presence. Now, take a deep, slow breath in through your nose. Hold it gently for a moment, sensing the fullness of your lungs. And then exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing any tension you may be holding. Inhale again, deeply, filling your lungs completely, expanding your ribs, your belly. Exhale with a soft sigh, letting go. Allow your breathing to return to its natural rhythm, slow and steady. With each inhale, invite a sense of calm and openness. With each exhale, release tightness, stress, or restlessness as you continue to breathe in this way. Bring your awareness to your body as a whole. Notice any areas where you might be holding tension, perhaps in your jaw, your shoulders, or your stomach. With your breath, send a wave of relaxation to those places. Imagine your exhale carrying away tightness, softening and loosening muscles. As it flows out, feel the space that opens inside your body as you breathe out tension. Sense the stillness that emerges in the quiet spaces between each breath. Let your entire being settle deeper into the present moment, fully supported by the ground beneath you. and the gentle flow of your breath. This moment, here and now, is your sanctuary, a place where your mind can rest from the endless chatter and rushing thoughts. If your mind grows busy again, wandering to tasks, worries, or plans, remember that this is normal. Mindfulness is not about emptying the mind, but about learning to observe its activity with kindness and without attachment. When distractions arise, welcome them as part of your experience, and then gently guide your focus back to the breath, your ever-present anchor. Now, begin to broaden your awareness beyond your breath. Notice the subtle sensations of your body in stillness, the temperature of the air on your skin, the faint sounds around you, near or distant. Allow your senses to be awake but relaxed, observing without grabbing or pushing away. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your belly as you breathe. Sense the calm rhythm flowing through your body, a quiet pulse of life itself. Let yourself be fully present with these sensations, here and now, free from judgment or expectation. As you rest in this openness, remind yourself that the goal of this practice is not to achieve anything, but simply to be, to cultivate a peaceful awareness that can meet each moment with clarity and kindness. You are not your thoughts or your emotions. You are the awareness that witnesses them. You are safe here in this space of calm presence. Take another deep breath in, hold it softly, and exhale fully. Feel your body gently grounding deeper, your mind settling more fully with each breath. Your capacity for calm and presence grows stronger, like a steady flame glowing brighter in the quiet night. Allow this gentle warmth to fill your heart and mind, inviting peace to expand throughout your entire being. Know that this stillness is always available to you, a refuge you can return to whenever you choose. Now, begin to soften the boundaries between yourself and yours. Sense the connection you have to the space around you, the air, the sounds, the light, all part of the present moment. As your awareness opens wider, feel yourself becoming more deeply connected to the flow of life. Rest in this expansive awareness for a few moments, allowing your mind to settle like calm water. There is nothing you need to do or achieve. Simply rest here, fully present, fully alive. Allow yourself to arrive fully in this moment, carrying this sense of calm presence with you as you move through your day or evening. Take one final deep breath, filling your lungs completely. Exhale gently, releasing any last bits of tension. When you are ready, slowly open your eyes, bringing this sense of grounded calm with you. Thank you for joining this moment of stillness. May this practice nurture peace within you and extend outward in all that you do. Overthinking is something many of us are all too familiar with. The mind races, circling endlessly through worries, plans, judgments, and doubts. Thoughts spin like a whirlwind, pulling us away from the present moment and into the maze of mental chatter. Zen teachings offer us a unique lens through which to view this experience, a lens that invites us not to fight the mind, but to understand it with clarity and kindness. Imagine your mind as a vast, open sky. On a clear day, the sky is bright and expansive, stretching infinitely in all directions. This sky is your natural awareness, calm, spacious, and unobstructed. Now imagine clouds drifting across that sky. Sometimes they are thin and wispy, barely touching the vast openness. Other times, they gather thick and heavy, blocking the sun. casting shadows over the landscape below. These clouds represent your thoughts, fleeting, ever-changing, and impermanent. When the mind is calm, the clouds pass freely, revealing the clear sky beneath. But when overthinking takes hold, the clouds gather into storms, obscuring the sky and making it feel as if the vast openness has disappeared altogether. Zen invites us to recognize this natural process without getting caught up in the storm, to realize that the clouds, though sometimes intense and overwhelming, are never the sky itself. They come and go, arising from causes and conditions, never fixed or permanent. To overthink is to identify too closely with these clouds, to believe that the swirling thoughts define who we are or what reality is. But just as clouds cannot imprison the sky, our thoughts cannot confine our true nature, the clear, spacious awareness that underlies all experience. This is a radical insight, one that changes how we relate to our mental patterns. Instead of battling thoughts, trying to suppress them, or chasing after them, Zen encourages us to step back and watch them with gentle curiosity. Observe the clouds of thought as they drift across the mind's sky. Notice their shape, color, and movement without labeling them good or bad, helpful or harmful. Simply watch as they arise, linger briefly, and dissolve away. This practice of non-reactive observation is the heart of Zen meditation. It teaches us to rest in the open awareness that exists beyond thought, discovering a place of profound peace and freedom. Now, let us reflect more deeply on how overthinking arises and what it means in the context of Zen. The mind is a powerful instrument, a gift that allows us to analyze, plan, imagine, and create. But this very capacity can also become our challenge. When the mind becomes restless, it tends to latch onto worries about the future or regrets from the past. It builds stories and scenarios, jumping from one thought to another, often without pause. This mental busyness can create a sense of overwhelm, anxiety, and exhaustion. In Zen, this state is sometimes called the monkey mind, a metaphor for the restless, jumping nature of our thoughts. Much like a monkey leaping from branch to branch without settling, recognizing the monkey mind is the first step toward liberating ourselves from its grip, rather than condemning ourselves for overthinking. Zen invites us to simply notice this pattern with kindness. See the monkey mind as it is lively, curious, and natural. The tendency to overthink is not a flaw or a weakness. It is part of the human condition. But the good news is that the mind is also changeable. The restless activity of thought is not fixed or permanent, like clouds. Thoughts arise from conditions and pass away when those conditions shift. With gentle practice, we can learn to create space between ourselves and our thoughts, a space where we are no longer swept away by mental storms, but can rest in calm clarity. This spaciousness is the essence of Zen wisdom, the freedom to be present, beyond the mind's endless narratives. To deepen this understanding, consider the practice of just sitting, or shikantaza in Zen. This practice involves sitting with open awareness, without trying to control or direct the mind. Instead of following thoughts or pushing them away, you simply rest in the natural state of awareness, like the open sky holding all phenomena. When overthinking arises, you acknowledge it gently and return to the present moment, to the breath, to the body, or simply to the experience of being. Over time, This practice softens the grip of the monkey mind and reveals the deep peace that is always present beneath the surface. Now, let us explore the impermanent nature of thoughts more closely. Every thought that arises is temporary. It comes into being, lasts for a moment, and then fades away. Try to notice this in your own experience. Think of a recent thought that occupied your mind, a worry, a plan, or a judgment. Where is that thought now? Has it disappeared? This simple investigation reveals the transient nature of mental activity. Yet, despite their impermanence, thoughts often feel solid and compelling. Why is that? Because the mind tends to cling to thoughts as if they were permanent facts, building layers of meaning and emotion around them. This clinging can create suffering as we resist the natural flow of change and try to hold on to mental narratives. Zen teaches us to loosen this grip, to meet thoughts as passing phenomena rather than permanent truths. This shift in perspective is profound. It allows us to see thoughts as clouds, drifting across the sky of awareness, sometimes bright, sometimes dark, but always moving, never fixed. This insight helps dissolve the tension and anxiety caused by overthinking. Instead of fighting the storm, we learn to be the sky itself, vast, open, and unshaken by passing clouds. Now, as you listen to these words, you may begin to notice the thoughts in your own mind, images, stories, worries, or plans. Observe them with gentle curiosity. Notice how they arise naturally and then pass away. You do not need to follow them or judge them. Simply watch the flow of your mental landscape as an impartial observer. If you notice yourself getting caught up in a particular thought, gently remind yourself that this is the monkey mind at play. Return your attention to the natural rhythm of your breath. Feel the breath as an anchor to the present moment, a steady presence that grounds you amidst the shifting currents of thought. Allow your awareness to expand and include everything you experience: breath, body sensations, sounds, and thoughts, all held within the spaciousness of your mind's sky. There is room here for all experience, without needing to hold on to or reject any of it. This is the heart of Zen practice, cultivating an openly accepting awareness that embraces the fullness of life as it unfolds. As you rest in this space, you may begin to sense a quiet beneath the noise of your thoughts, a stillness that is always present, waiting to be recognized. This stillness is not separate from the activity of the mind. It is the ground upon which all thoughts arise and dissolve. Recognizing this stillness is a step toward freedom from overthinking and mental overwhelm. It invites you to meet life with greater ease, clarity, and peace. So now take a few moments to rest in this awareness. Breathe gently and observe the clouds of thought as they come and go. Feel the vastness of your own mind, open, spacious, and free. Know that you do not need to solve or control anything right now. Simply be present as this segment draws to a close. Carry with you this understanding. Overthinking is like clouds passing across the sky, ever-changing and impermanent. You are the clear sky itself, boundless, unchanging, and serene. Whenever your mind grows busy or restless, remember that you can return to this sky of awareness. You can learn to observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them, resting in the peace beyond the storm. Thank you for joining in this exploration of overthinking from the Zen perspective. May this insight nourish your journey toward a quieter, calmer mind. Begin by finding a comfortable posture, whether sitting or lying down. Allow your body to settle. Feel the surface beneath you, supporting your weight. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or soften your gaze, allowing your eyes to rest. Gently, take a moment to notice how your body feels right now. Any sensations of tension or ease, heaviness or lightness. There is no need to change anything. Simply observe. Now, bring your awareness to the breath. Notice the gentle movement as air enters through your nostrils, filling your lungs, and then flows out again. Don't try to change the breath, simply observe its natural rhythm. Feel the coolness of the air as you inhale, the warmth as you exhale. Allow your breath to be your anchor. With each inhale, feel the expansion in your chest and belly. With each exhale, notice the natural release and softening. The breath is steady and reliable, a constant companion that grounds you in the present moment. As you rest in this awareness, you may begin to notice thoughts arising in the mind. These thoughts are natural, like clouds drifting across a vast sky. They come and go, sometimes subtle and gentle, other times loud or persistent. When you notice a thought, don't try to push it away or chase after it. Instead, simply acknowledge its presence. You might silently say to yourself, thinking or thought as a gentle label. Recognizing that a thought is present, imagine watching the thought like a leaf floating down a stream or a cloud passing through the sky. You are the observer, the open space in which these thoughts arise and dissolve. Each time the mind wanders, as it inevitably will, gently guide your attention back to the breath. Return to the sensation of air moving in and out, the rise and fall of your chest and belly. There is no need for frustration or judgment. This return is itself a practice, a moment of kindness toward yourself. Now, deepen your focus on the breath. Notice the subtle pauses, the brief stillness between inhalation and exhalation, the gap between breaths. These moments of pause are doorways to stillness. Allow your awareness to rest in these spaces, letting go of effort. Let the breath flow naturally, and let your mind soften into calm. If emotions or sensations arise alongside thoughts, notice them with the same gentle curiosity. Feel the presence of any tension, ease, warmth, or coolness. Allow your attention to be spacious enough to include all experience without needing to change it. Return your focus again and again to the breath, your steady anchor amid the shifting currents of the mind. As you continue this practice, you may notice a deepening sense of calm settling over you. The breath invites you to rest in this calm, a place beyond the swirling activity of thoughts. Know that this calmness is always available. It is not something to be achieved or forced, but something to be recognized and welcomed. Now, begin to widen your awareness to include the whole body breathing. Feel how your body moves subtly with each breath, the gentle expansion and contraction, the rise and fall. Notice how the breath nourishes every part of your being, connecting mind and body in harmonious rhythm. If your mind wanders to the past or future, gently remind yourself, the breath is here now. Returning to it grounds you in the present. There is a natural rhythm to your breathing, steady, even, and soothing. Let this rhythm carry you deeper into relaxation, Imagine, with each inhale, that you are drawing in peace and calm. With each exhale, imagine releasing any tension, worry, or mental chatter. Feel the softening that happens with every breath out, the letting go of what no longer serves you. If you notice tension in your body, perhaps in the shoulders, jaw, or belly, send your breath there. Imagine breathing into those areas, inviting warmth and ease. Let the breath flow freely, like a gentle wave washing over your entire body. Each time thoughts arise, simply observe them as you did before, as passing clouds or drifting leaves, and return to your breath. This practice is not about emptying the mind or stopping thoughts. Rather, it is about changing your relationship with them. You are learning to observe without becoming entangled, to rest in presence despite the mind's activity. This awareness is the seed of deep calm and clarity. As you continue, notice how your breath and awareness become one. There is no separation between observing and breathing. You are fully here, fully alive in this moment. You may experience moments of stillness, brief pauses when the mind quiets naturally. Welcome these moments without clinging. Allow your breath to carry you gently through the waves of mental activity. Each breath, a steady boat, navigating the vast ocean of awareness. As you sit or lie here, wrapped in this calmness, know that your breath is your constant companion. Whenever life feels overwhelming or the mind too busy, you can return to this practice, simply noticing the breath, resting in the present moment. Take a moment now to appreciate this gift of calm presence you are cultivating. There is no need to hurry or do anything else. Just breathe and be. Now, gently bring your awareness back to your body, feeling the weight of your body on the surface beneath you. Notice the sensations of your hands resting, your feet touching the floor or bed. When you feel ready, begin to deepen your breath, moving your fingers and toes softly. If your eyes have been closed, slowly open them, bringing this sense of calm and presence with you into the rest of your day. Remember, the breath is always here, your anchor, your refuge, your friend. Thank you for taking this time to practice breath awareness and calm the mind. May this practice support you in cultivating peace amidst life's challenges. Now, let us turn our attention to a classic Zen story, a story that invites us to consider the state of our own minds and the possibility of creating space for new wisdom and peace by emptying the clutter within. This is the story of the empty cup. Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled among ancient mountains, there was a curious student who sought wisdom. This student had traveled far, carrying with them a mind full of ideas, beliefs, and preconceived notions about the world, life, and themselves. The student was eager, hungry for knowledge, yet unaware that their mind was already overflowing. One day, the student arrived at the humble temple of a revered Zen master. The master was known for profound teachings that went beyond words, teachings that could calm the restless mind and awaken the heart with deep respect. The student asked the master to teach them the path to peace and understanding. The master smiled gently and invited the student to sit with him for tea. But the master continued to pour, even as the cup overflowed. The master paused, looked kindly at the student, and said, "Like this cup, your mind is full of opinions and assumptions. How can I teach you unless you first empty your cup? Take a moment to imagine this scene unfolding before you. Picture the student's overflowing cup, the spilling tea. This clutter blocks us from receiving new insights, fresh perspectives, and a deeper experience of peace. When our minds are crowded with past stories, future worries, and constant mental chatter, we leave little room for awareness itself, the open space in which true wisdom and calm can arise. This story gently reminds us that the first step toward quieting the busy mind is to let go, to release our grip on old patterns and assumptions that no longer serve us. As you listen to this story, consider your own mind. Is your mental cup overflowing? How much space do you have for new experiences, new ways of seeing, new peace? Know that emptying the cup is not about erasing or forgetting. It is about creating space, a spacious openness that welcomes whatever arises without resistance. Like the empty cup waiting to be filled, your mind can rest in openness, ready to receive the richness of the present moment. Now, imagine gently setting your cup down. Visualize it empty and ready. Feel the possibility of that openness inside yourself. Notice how your breath flows easily when the mind is not crowded. Feel the natural ease of just being, not trying to hold on, not trying to fill, but simply resting. This openness invites peace. It is the fertile ground from which clarity, calm, and compassion grow in Zen. This beginner's mind, the mind that is free from preconceptions and open to the present. When we approach life with a beginner's mind, we can discover fresh insight, wonder, and deep calm. Let this story be a gentle invitation to examine your own mental cup. What are you holding on to tightly? What can you set down, even just for this moment? Practice returning again and again to this empty cup, this openness, when you notice your mind filling with distraction or worry. The water is clear and calm. This clarity is always available. It is the natural state beneath the waves of mental activity. By emptying the cup, we do not lose who we are. Rather, we find a deeper, quieter self, a self at peace. Take a few slow, deep breaths now. Inhale openness. Exhale tension and clutter. Feel your mind settling, spacious and calm. As we conclude this story and reflection, carry with you the image of the empty cup, a symbol of readiness, receptivity, and peace. May this image guide you whenever the mind feels full or restless. May it remind you to return to simplicity and openness, inviting calm and clarity into your life. Thank you for joining this quiet moment of reflection. May your mind be as an empty cup, ready to receive the peace and wisdom of the present moment. Imagine yourself as a beginner once again, stepping onto a new path, holding no fixed ideas about what lies ahead. Your mind is fresh, uncluttered, curious. This is the beginner's mind, unlike the expert's mind, which carries accumulated knowledge, expectations, and judgments. The beginner's mind is open and receptive. It sees things as they truly are, without distortion or assumption. It notices with clarity and curiosity. Zen master Shunryu Suzuki famously said, "In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's, there are few." This simple phrase points to a profound truth. When we let go of rigid beliefs and habitual thinking, the world opens up in new and freeing ways. How the beginner's mind calms. Overthinking, Gurktink, arises when we cling to fixed ideas, worry about what might happen, or replay stories about the past. We trap ourselves in mental loops, analyzing endlessly, judging, planning, and resisting what is. The beginner's mind disrupts this cycle by reminding us to drop assumptions and see each moment freshly. When we cultivate beginner's mind, we invite mental clarity and calm. We no longer approach life with a burdened mind, weighted down by shoulds and musts. Instead, we become like a clear mirror, reflecting reality as it is, without distortion. Practicing beginners' mind in daily life. Practicing beginners' mind does not require us to forget everything we have learned or to act naively. Rather, it means balancing our knowledge with openness. Think of it like this: an expert is someone who knows a lot about a subject, but a true master remains forever curious, humble, and open to learning. In your daily life, try to notice moments when your mind rushes to conclusions or clings to certainty. Pause and ask yourself, what if I don't know? What if there's something new here I haven't seen before? This question opens the door to curiosity and invites a fresh perspective. Beginners' mind and mental clarity. When we release fixed ideas, mental clutter naturally falls away. We see more clearly. Our thoughts become less tangled. We experience the present moment without the noise of judgment and expectation. This clarity allows insight to arise. It creates space for calm, creative problem solving, rather than stressful overanalysis. Cultivating beginner's mind with curiosity. One of the keys to beginner's mind is curiosity, the genuine desire to explore and understand without rushing to label or judge. Curiosity invites us to notice details, to slow down, and to appreciate the richness of experience. For example, when eating, instead of rushing through a meal distracted by thoughts, curiosity invites us to truly taste each bite. When walking, it asks us to notice the sensation of the ground beneath our feet, the sounds around us, the feeling of the air on our skin. This simple act of curiosity brings us home to the present, dissolving mental noise, beginner's mind, and letting go of assumptions. Our minds build mental frameworks to help us navigate the world. But these frameworks can also become prisons. They tell us who we are, what to expect, how things should be. When events do not fit our expectations, we suffer, feeling confusion, frustration, or fear. Beginner's mind invites us to let go of these assumptions, not to deny experience, but to meet life openly and honestly. This openness reduces mental resistance and cultivates acceptance. The beginner's mind in Zen practicing, Zen meditation. Beginner's mind is central. We sit quietly, noticing sensations, thoughts, and feelings as if for the very first time. We don't try to control or analyze them. Instead, we observe with gentle openness, letting each moment arise and pass. This practice trains the mind to be present, curious, and clear, qualities that naturally reduce overthinking. Challenges to beginners. Adopting beginner's mind is not always easy. Our brains are wired to seek certainty and predictability. Letting go of assumptions can feel uncomfortable or risky. We may fear losing control or appearing ignorant. It takes courage and patience to hold uncertainty with grace, but the rewards are great: mental peace, flexibility, and a deeper connection to life. Practical steps to cultivate beginner's mind. Notice your habitual thoughts. Observe when your mind rushes to conclusions or judgments. Pause and breathe. Take a moment to return to your breath, anchoring your awareness in the present. Ask beginner's questions instead of certainty. Approach with "I wonder" or "what if?" Be gentle with yourself. Remind yourself that it's natural to hold assumptions. Beginner's mind is a practice, not perfection. Practice curiosity daily. Engage your senses fully in simple activities like eating, walking, or washing dishes. Beginner's mind and emotional healing when mental clutter falls away. Emotional clarity often follows. Old wounds and habitual fears lose their grip. We learn to meet emotions with openness rather than resistance. This healing unfolds naturally when the mind rests in beginner's openness. Reflection. Take a moment now to reflect on your own experience. How might adopting beginner's mind shift your relationship with overthinking? What mental clutter might you be invited to release? How could curiosity and openness create peace in your life? Closing beginner's mind is a powerful tool to calm overthinking and invite mental clarity. It teaches us to meet each moment as if for the first time, with fresh eyes, open heart, and a willingness to learn. As we continue this journey, may we cultivate this openness, finding peace beyond thought and clarity beyond judgment. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel your mind opening like an empty cup ready to receive. Know that the beginner's mind is always here, waiting to guide you home to calm, clarity, and peace. At first glance, the phrase might seem puzzling or even nonsensical. How can one hand clap? Clapping, we know, requires two hands. This koan is not a riddle to be solved by logic or analysis. It is an invitation to transcend ordinary thought and open the door to a deeper kind of awareness. The origin of the konath sound of one hand clapping originates from the collection of Zen teachings designed to provoke insight beyond the conceptual mind. Koans are short, paradoxical statements or questions used by Zen masters to challenge the student's habitual way of thinking. Instead of providing answers, koans stimulate a shift in perception, a move beyond intellectual reasoning into direct experience. This particular koan asks us to contemplate the impossible, the sound made by one hand clapping as a way to dismantle our dualistic assumptions. We typically think in opposites, left and right, self and other, sound and silence. The koan disrupts these binaries and points us toward a reality where these opposites dissolve. Dualistic thinking and the busy mind. Our ordinary mind is deeply conditioned to see the world in pairs of opposites. We categorize experiences as good or bad, right or wrong, success or failure. This dualistic thinking is a survival mechanism, but can also create division and mental unrest. When the mind clings to dualities, it churns endlessly, weighing options, making judgments, planning, worrying. This mental chatter can become overwhelming, especially when faced with uncertainty or emotional pain. The koan of one hand clapping calls us to step out of this endless dichotomy and rest in a more spacious awareness that is not caught in opposites. What is the sound of one hand clapping? Let's pause and consider. What does the sound of one hand clapping mean to you? Your logical mind might protest. It's impossible. Clapping requires two hands. But the koan invites a different kind of listening, one that goes beyond the literal. Imagine the sensation, the presence, the subtle vibration that might be created by a single hand moving through the air. The sound is not just the noise produced by two hands striking each other, but an invitation to hear the silence, to sense the space around and within. The sound here becomes a metaphor for presence, beyond the ordinary boundaries of thought. Letting go of conceptual limits, our minds are quick to label and define. This is useful in many ways, but can also limit us. When we get stuck in concepts, this must be this way, or I should feel this, we create mental fences that block fresh insight. The koan challenges us to let go of these fences. When we ask, what is the sound of one hand clapping? The question itself becomes a tool to quiet the mind, rather than searching for an answer in words or logic. The koan encourages a direct experience, a moment of openness where the mind rests quietly without grasping. The sound of one hand clapping. And overthinking thrives on dualities and conceptual boundaries. It tells stories, spins worries, and chases answers. But the koan points us to a stillness that is beyond thinking. In that stillness, mental noise subsides. We experience presence without judgment, without trying to fix or solve. This is the heart of Zen practice, cultivating a mind that is alert yet relaxed, engaged yet free. Practical exploration. Experiencing the koan, you might wonder, how do I hear the sound of one hand clapping? Here is a gentle way to explore this. Sit quietly and bring your attention to your hands. Slowly raise one hand and move it through the air, noticing the sensations. Listen closely, not for the usual clapping sound, but for subtler sounds, or even silence. Notice your mind's response. Does it want to solve or explain? This practice is less about finding a definitive answer and more about opening your awareness to what lies beyond thought. The koan as a doorway to stillness. By engaging with the koan, we practice relaxing mental effort. We learn to let go of the need to control or understand everything. In the space that opens, stillness arises naturally. This stillness is not an absence, but a presence, a clear, luminous awareness that is spacious and calm. It is this presence that can quiet the restless mind and bring profound peace. Reflections on non-duality. Koan invites us into the profound teaching of non-duality, the understanding that opposites are not separate realities, but interconnected expressions of one whole. In daily life, non-duality teaches us to see beyond conflicts and contradictions. It helps us accept complexity and uncertainty without resistance. This shift in perception reduces inner struggle and cultivates harmony beyond the sound. The silence of one hand. Another way to approach the koan is to consider not the sound, but the silence, the space around the hand. In Zen, silence is as significant as sound. Silence holds potential, openness, and freedom. It invites the mind to rest in the present moment, free from distraction. As you contemplate one hand clapping, you might also notice the quality of silence that supports the sound, integrating the teaching as we carry this teaching forward. Notice moments when your mind clings to dualistic thinking or spirals into overthinking. Remember the koan's invitation to pause, let go, and simply be. Allow yourself to rest in the space beyond thought, where clarity and calm naturally emerge. Practice returning to this space throughout your day, whether walking, eating, or simply breathing. A personal story of transformation to illustrate the power of this teaching. Here is a story of a practitioner named May. May was a bright, diligent student who struggled with relentless overthinking. Her mind was constantly busy, replaying worries and doubts. She felt trapped in mental loops that left her exhausted. One day, her Zen teacher presented her with the koan. What is the sound of one hand clapping? At first, May tried to answer logically, but found only frustration. With gentle guidance, her teacher encouraged her to stop trying to solve and instead sit quietly with the question. Over time, May learned to hold the koan not as a puzzle, but as a door to stillness. She began to notice the space between thoughts, the silence beneath mental chatter. This simple shift brought her profound peace. Her mind no longer chased answers, but rested, calmly, open, and clear. Bringing it all together, the sound of one hand clapping is more than a mysterious question. It is a practice of letting go, opening up, and resting beyond thought. It challenges the very nature of our usual mental patterns and invites us to find peace in presence. By embracing this teaching, we learn to quiet overthinking, dissolve mental noise, and live with clarity and calm. Closing invitations, we conclude this segment. I invite you to carry the koan with you. Return to it whenever your mind grows restless or overwhelmed. Allow it to remind you of the stillness that lies beneath the waves of thought. Let this teaching guide you home to a quiet mind and an open heart. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel the peace that arises when the mind rests beyond thought. Know that the sound of one hand clapping is the sound of your own presence, whole, complete, and free. If you have ever felt overwhelmed by your own thinking thoughts racing uncontrollably, yet this very busyness can create suffering, anxiety, learning to see thoughts clearly without getting caught up in their content or reacting to them. This approach opens the door to profound, calm clarity. Clouds. The clouds drift by, some dark and heavy, some light and wispy. They move with the wind, appearing and disappearing. Yourself sitting by the shore of an ocean. You watch the waves come and go without jumping into them. Us. But so often we mistake thoughts for reality, grasping at some, resisting others, and getting lost in the storm. Why do we get attached to our thoughts? Attachment to thoughts happens for many reasons. To distress, control. We try to control thoughts, either by suppressing unwanted ones or obsessively chasing after certain ideas, hoping to find answers or certainty. Fear. Sometimes thoughts provoke anxiety or fear, especially when they relate to the future or past. Our mind tries to hold on to safe ideas or avoid dangerous ones, but this only fuels mental struggle. Habitual. The mind defaults to spinning stories or analyzing endlessly because it is accustomed to doing so. Recognizing these patterns is the first step in freeing ourselves. Non-attachment. What does it mean? Non-attachment does not mean ignoring or denying thoughts. It also does not mean becoming indifferent or apathetic. Instead, it means cultivating a gentle, open awareness that notices thoughts as passing phenomena without grabbing, rejecting, or following them. Non-attachment is like being an impartial witness to the mind's activity. It's the difference between being caught inside a storm and watching the storm from attachment. Let's explore step by step. Bring attention to the present moment. Begin by settling into a comfortable posture and exhaling. This breath anchors you in the here and now. Notice thoughts as they arise. You breathe. Allow thoughts to come and go naturally. don't try to stop or push them away. Acknowledge these thoughts gently, with kindness. Planning, worrying, or remembering objects of awareness rather than overwhelming subjects, or resist. Return to the breath whenever you notice the mind getting caught up in a story or emotional charge. Challenges and how to address them. Practicing non-attachment to thoughts can be challenging. Here are some common experiences and ways to work with them. The mind won't stop racing if the mind feels busy and restless. Acknowledge that this is normal. Instead of fighting the activity, be patient and gentle. Watch the activity as it is, like watching traffic on a busy street without jumping in. Strong emotions arise. Sometimes thoughts bring up feelings like anxiety, away or trying to hold on to them. Judging yourself for not doing it right. It's easy to become self-critical when the mind wanders. Remember, the practice is not about perfection, but about gentle awareness. Each time you notice distraction and return to the breath, you are strengthening mindfulness. Wanting to solve or fix thoughts, let go of the urge to fix. Mind, the science behind observing thoughts. Modern regulation, while reducing reactivity by observing thoughts without attachment, we weaken neural pathways that fuel rumination and anxiety. This creates a mental environment conducive to peace and well-being. Stories and analogies to deepen understanding. Here are some stories and images from the Zen tradition and beyond that illuminate the practice. The sky and the weather. Think of your mind as the vast sky. Thoughts and emotions are like clouds and weather passing through. Storms come and go, but the sky remains open and clear. The practice is to recognize yourself as the sky, not the temporary weather. The monkey mind. In Buddhism, the restless mind is often called the monkey mind, jumping from branch to branch instead of chasing the monkey or trying to silence it forcefully. Leaves on a stream. Imagine your thoughts as leaves floating on a stream. You watch them drift by without. Tips for daily life. Non-attachment to thoughts is not just a meditation practice, but a way of living. Here are ways to cultivate this in everyday moments. Pause before reacting when a thought or emotion arises. Is it helpful? Create mindful breaks. Take short, mindful pauses during the day, even a few breaths, to check in with your mind. Notice if you are caught in stories or judgments and gently return to presence. Yourself to practice non-attachment. Over time, this will become natural. Limit overconsumption. Be mindful of the input you consume. Social media. Effect of non-attachment. As we cultivate the ability to observe thoughts without attachment, the benefits ripple outwards. Inner calm. We experience more peace amid life's challenges. Improved relationships, less reactive minds lead to more compassionate communication. Greater resilience. We bounce back more easily from stress and setbacks. A personal reflection. Let me share a story of a friend named Anil. Anil was a successful professional. A crowded marketplace, loud and chaotic. Through meditation practice focused on observing thoughts, the noise lessened. Anil described feeling like he had discovered of Zen and mindfulness practice. It means seeing thoughts clearly as passing phenomena, not identifying or clinging to them. Cultivating a gentle, open awareness. Clarity that is always available. Closing invitation for this segment. As we close this segment, pause. Become the observer of your thoughts. Imagine them as clouds or waves passing by. return your attention to the breath with patience and kindness. Practice this every day. Over time, you will find that mental chatter quiets and peace naturally arises. Take a slow, deep breath now. Feel yourself anchored in this present moment. Know that you have the power to watch your thoughts without being swept away. Let this awareness be a balm for your busy mind. Today, we cultivate the ability to notice thoughts as they arise and pass through the mind without judgment or attachment, and to return our attention gracefully to the present moment. Begin by finding a comfortable position. You may sit with your back straight but relaxed, or lie down if that feels better for you. Allow your hands to rest softly, your shoulders to drop, and your body to settle fully into the support beneath you. If your eyes are comfortable closed, gently close them now. If you prefer to keep them open, soften your gaze downward or into a gentle, unfocused gaze. Let us start by tuning into the breath. Feel the natural rhythm of your breathing, the gentle in-breath flowing in, the out-breath flowing out. Notice the coolness as the air enters your nostrils and the warmth as it leaves. There is no need to change or control your breathing. Just observe it as it is. Let your breath become your anchor throughout this meditation. Whenever your mind wanders, as it naturally will, simply bring your attention back to this rhythmic flow of breathing. Now, gently invite your awareness to open to the presence of thoughts in your mind. Thoughts may already be moving through your awareness. Images, words, sounds, memories, plans, sensations. You don't have to try to make them stop. You don't need to hold on to any particular thought either. Imagine yourself sitting by a riverbank, watching the current flow by. Thoughts are like leaves or small boats floating down the river. Some drift quickly, others linger for a moment before moving on. Your role is simply to watch without grabbing or pushing anything away. If you notice a thought arising, simply say to yourself softly, thinking or planning or remembering, whatever fits best. This labeling helps create a small space between you and the thought. You may find it helpful to label thoughts with simple words such as thinking, worrying, remembering, judging, planning, hoping, fearing. There is no need to be exact or to judge your labeling. This is a gentle tool, like a soft spotlight illuminating the flow of thoughts. As you label a thought, watch it without following it into a story or analysis. See it as a passing event. Notice how it appears, how it lingers for a while, and how it dissolves or moves aside for the next thought to come. Remember, your true self is not these passing thoughts. You are the space in which thoughts arise and pass away. Return your attention again and again to your breath, the steady rise and fall as your home base, your center. Each time you notice the mind pulling away into a thought, greet this with kindness and patience. Gently guide your focus back to the breath. If you find your mind wandering repeatedly, perhaps with strong or sticky thoughts, it's okay. This is part of the practice. There is no right or wrong way to do this. Time you notice and return. You are training your mind to become more stable and free as you continue. Begin to notice the quality of the thoughts. Are they fast or slow, loud or quiet, emotional or neutral? Observe without trying to change or fix anything. Some thoughts may bring up feelings, joy, sadness, anxiety, or calm. Allow emotions to be present like waves on the ocean. You are the vast ocean beneath the waves, steady, calm, and wide. Now, bring your awareness to the spaces between thoughts. Notice the brief moments when one thought ends and another has yet to begin. Experience these quiet gaps, the pauses, as openings of stillness. Allow yourself to rest in these moments, feeling their refreshing clarity. This meditation is not about erasing thoughts or forcing the mind to be blank. It's about cultivating a new relationship with thoughts, one of spacious awareness, curiosity, and compassion. By watching thoughts come and go without grasping, you create space for peace and clarity to grow naturally. If you become aware of a particularly strong thought or feeling, you might gently invite it to express itself. Without resistance, imagine holding it tenderly in the palm of your hand. Say to it silently, "I see you. You are welcome to be here." Feel the tension ease as you acknowledge the presence of this thought or emotion. Then return to watching it as a passing visitor. If the mind becomes busy with many thoughts at once, like a busy marketplace, simply pick one thought to label and observe, or choose to rest your attention fully on the breath. Remember, the breath is always here, steady and reliable. Let's take a few more minutes now to continue this gentle practice of observing thoughts with openness. With each breath in, feel your mind expand and soften. With each breath out, feel it release tension and tightness. Allow yourself to be a calm witness to your inner landscape. When you feel ready, begin to deepen your breath. Slowly bring your attention back to the room. Notice any sounds around you. Feel the support beneath your body. When it feels right, gently open your eyes. Take a moment to notice how you feel, perhaps lighter, calmer, or more present. Remember that this practice is always available to you. Whenever your mind feels crowded or overwhelmed, you can return to this observer stance. Notice thoughts without attachment. Label them gently, if helpful. Return to your breath in time. This simple practice builds a powerful, calm center within. Let this awareness guide you as you move forward in your day or evening. Know that peace is not somewhere far away. It is within you, in the space between thoughts, waiting to be noticed. Thank you for joining this meditation on observing thoughts without attachment. May your mind be clear, your heart be kind, and your presence be steady. As we continue to explore the art of quieting the restless mind and inviting peace, let us settle now into the timeless wisdom of a simple Zen story, the story of the farmer who teaches us the power of acceptance and equanimity. Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled among rolling hills and fertile fields, there lived a humble farmer. This farmer was known throughout the village, not for great wealth or loud achievements, but for his remarkable calmness and peace of mind. People often wondered how he maintained such tranquility despite the ups and downs that life inevitably brings. One day, a curious traveler visited the village. Hearing of the farmer's reputation, the traveler sought him out and asked, "How is it that you remain so steady and serene when life around us is full of unpredictability? Good fortune one day, hardship the next. I find myself tossed by every change, every twist of fate. What is your secret?" The farmer smiled gently and replied, "Come, sit with me beneath this old oak tree. I will tell you my story." The farmer began his tale. "In my youth, I too was restless. I believed that life should follow my plans and that happiness depended on success and comfort. But time showed me otherwise. One season, my horse ran away. I was deeply upset, fearing how I would manage the farm without its help. The neighbors came to console me, saying, "What terrible luck." But I simply said, "Maybe so, maybe not. We shall see." A few days later, the horse returned, bringing with it a herd of wild horses from the mountains. Now the neighbors came with congratulations. "What great fortune." Again, I replied, "Maybe so, maybe not. We shall see." Soon after, my son was trying to tame one of the wild horses. He fell and broke his leg. The neighbors lamented. "How tragic," I answered. "Maybe so, maybe not. We shall see." Then, a war broke out nearby, and all the young men were drafted, except for my son, who was unable to go because of his injury. The neighbors came once more. "How lucky you are," I said simply. "Maybe so, maybe not. We shall see." The traveler listened carefully, fascinated by the farmer's calm acceptance in the face of life's unpredictable events. The farmer continued, "This story, simple as it may seem, carries a deep lesson. Life's events are neither wholly good nor wholly bad. They are ever-changing, unfolding in ways we cannot control or fully understand. If we cling to the idea that life should be one way or another, we set ourselves up for endless disappointment, anxiety, and suffering. Instead, when we learn to rest in acceptance, to meet each moment with openness, without rushing to judge it as good or bad, our minds find freedom. This freedom is called equanimity in Zen, a balanced mind that neither clings to pleasure nor resists pain, but holds both with gentle steadiness. Pause for a moment and let the farmer's words settle. Imagine yourself sitting beneath that ancient oak tree, the earth steady beneath you, the wind soft on your face. Consider your own life and the times when you have been tossed by fortune's changing tides, moments of joy that seemed to promise lasting happiness, moments of sorrow that seemed unbearable. Reflect now on the possibility of meeting these moments with the farmer's equanimity, a mind that says, "Maybe so, maybe not. We shall see." In this teaching, the farmer invites us to soften our habitual reactions, to stop rushing to label experiences as good or bad, success or failure, pain or pleasure. Instead, he offers the practice of gentle observation, noticing what is happening, accepting it as it is, and allowing space for life to unfold naturally. This does not mean passivity or resignation. The farmer worked hard, cared deeply, and responded skillfully to each challenge, but his skill lay in maintaining inner calm amid outer change. Let us explore how this story relates to the nature of overthinking and mental restlessness. When the mind gets caught in endless analysis, imagining worst-case scenarios, or clinging to hopes for ideal outcomes, it creates a storm of activity, pulling us away from the present. This storm blinds us to the true nature of things, which is ever-changing and beyond our full grasp. The farmer's wisdom points us back to a grounded way of being, one that neither fights nor clings, but embraces the flux of life with grace. As we settle with this story, invite your own mind to find that space of acceptance. Notice any resistance or judgment that arises when you think of your own life's uncertainties. Bring your breath as an anchor with every inhale. Gather calm with every exhale, Release the need to control or analyze. Allow yourself to rest in the simple presence of now. The power of the farmer's teaching is in its simplicity. By repeating the phrase, maybe so, maybe not, we shall see, we cultivate a spaciousness within the mind. This spaciousness becomes a refuge, a place where peace dwells even amid change and uncertainty. Try saying this phrase softly to yourself now, like a gentle mantra. Maybe so, maybe not, we shall see. Let it echo in your mind, softening tight thoughts and opening the heart. Consider now how this equanimity can be practiced in every day. Moments when faced with a difficult emotion, a challenging situation, or unexpected news, can you pause and hold it lightly? Can you allow uncertainty to be present without rushing to solve or resist it? This moment-to-moment acceptance is the essence of Zen. Mindfulness. It is not about suppressing feelings or becoming indifferent. Rather, it is about meeting all that arises with a kind, steady heart. Imagine the mind like the vast sky. Thoughts and emotions are clouds passing through, some dark and stormy, some light and fluffy. The farmer's teaching invites us to be the sky itself, open, vast, unchanging, rather than getting caught in the clouds. In this space, the restless mind can finally settle. Now, as we move toward the close of this segment, take a few deep breaths. Feel the rhythm of your breath as a constant through all change. Return to the stillness beneath the waves of thought. Know that like the farmer, you too can cultivate a mind that rests in acceptance, a mind that welcomes life's unpredictability with gentle curiosity. Let this story and its teaching be a light on your path, a reminder that peace is found not by controlling life, but by embracing it as it unfolds. The farmer's wisdom teaches us the art of living with equanimity, the power to release endless analysis and rest in the quiet heart of now. Thank you for sharing this moment of calm and insight. In this segment, we delve into one of the most profound teachings of Zen and Buddhist philosophy: acceptance, the gentle, courageous act of embracing what is, rather than resisting or overanalyzing it. To begin, take a moment to settle comfortably. Wherever you are, as you breathe, prepare to explore the transformative power of acceptance, a path that leads from struggle to ease, from mental chaos to calm. What is acceptance? At its core, acceptance is a simple but radical practice. It means seeing things clearly as they are, without adding layers of judgment, resistance, or desire to change the moment. Imagine a river flowing steadily through a landscape. The river doesn't fight the rocks or bend the trees. Or clinging desperately to how we wish it might be instead. The mind's struggle against reality. If you pay close attention, you may notice how often the mind resists what is. We resist difficult emotions like fear, sadness, or anger. We resist situations that challenge us, disrupt our plans, or cause discomfort. We resist change and the uncertainty that comes with it. This resistance often takes the form of overthinking, planning escape routes, blaming ourselves or others, or trying to control outcomes. While understandable, this mental resistance fuels stress and suffering. It creates an internal battle, a tug-of-war between reality and our expectations, that exhausts and unsettles us. Why do we resist? Resistance arises from the mind's natural desire for stability, certainty, and control. When things don't match our preferences, we feel unsettled. In Buddhism, this is called dukkha, often translated as suffering or unsatisfactoriness. But the wisdom teaches us that dukkha arises not only from pain or difficulty, but especially from our reaction to those experiences. A story of acceptance to illuminate this. Let us reflect on a simple story. A young student approached a Zen master, burdened by anxiety about the future. "Master," the student said, "I feel overwhelmed." The master responded quietly, "Tell me, when the wind blows, does the tree resist the breeze, or does it bend with grace?" The student thought for a moment and answered, "The tree bends, Master." The master smiled. "So too must your mind learn to bend. When you resist the wind of change, you break. When you accept it, you find strength." Reflection: the tree and the wind. Allow yourself to consider this metaphor. Where in your life have you felt like the rigid tree resisting the winds of circumstance? Where could you cultivate the flexibility to bend and flow? This is the essence of acceptance, not passivity, but active openness. The practice of acceptance is a practice that can be cultivated moment by moment. It begins with awareness. Notice when you feel resistance arising, perhaps a tightness in your chest, a clenching in your jaw. Allowing rather than fighting, allow the feelings, sensations, and thoughts to be as they are. Do not push them away or hold on tightly. Just as waves rise and fall in the ocean, you to ride those waves with calm steadiness. The difference between acceptance and resignation. Acceptance is often misunderstood as resignation or giving up. But acceptance is not about giving in to suffering or passivity. Rather, it is the wise recognition of reality as it is, which paradoxically empowers us to respond more skillfully. When the mind stops struggling, it gains clarity and freedom. From this clarity, we can choose compassionate, wise action, guided contemplation. A moment now to gently bring to mind a situation or feeling you have been resisting. It could be an emotion, a challenge, a change, or uncertainty. As you hold this in your awareness, ask yourself, what am I resisting? How does this resistance feel in my body? What would it be like to soften and allow this experience to be just as it is, without trying to change it? Soothing presence that supports you through all states of mind. Breathe in calm, breathe out tension. Acceptance opens space. One of the profound benefits of acceptance is the spaciousness it creates in the mind. When we stop fighting what is the tightness and constriction of struggle, ease, space opens for peace, insight, and healing. A Zen poem on acceptance. Consider these words from a Zen poem: let go. Every day, acceptance can be practiced not only in meditation but throughout your daily life. When you encounter difficult moments, a frustrating conversation, a mistake, a delay, practice pausing. Notice your impulse to resist. Choose instead to meet the moment with openness and kindness. Watch how this simple shift can dissolve tension. Acceptance and self-compassion accents includes offering kindness to yourself. Often, the self-criticism, the shoulds practice, accepting yourself as you are right now. Say gently, I am enough, just as I am. This self-acceptance is a foundation for peace. Guided exercise. Accepting self and situation. Close your eyes if you wish. Bring your attention to your heart area. Breathe deeply. Silently repeat, I accept myself as I am. I accept this moment as it is. Feel the truth of these words settling within. Acceptance leads to healing when the mind rests in acceptance. Healing naturally follows. Emotional pain, stress, and overthinking lose their grip. The mind becomes like a still lake, reflecting life without disturbance. This peace is your natural state, waiting beneath. Consider simple practices. Morning reminder. Set an intention to accept what comes today. Gentle check-ins throughout the day. Notice resistance and soften. Evening reflection. Acknowledge moments of acceptance and growth over time. Acceptance becomes a stable refuge. Final reflections as we conclude this segment. Bring your awareness once again to your breath. Feel the calmness growing within you. Know that acceptance is not a destination but a path, a continual unfolding with each moment. You can return to acceptance and find peace. Thank you for sharing this time of learning and healing. May acceptance gently open your heart and mind, inviting a quiet, enduring calm. We will cultivate loving kindness, or metta, a profound and gentle practice of directing kindness and compassion toward ourselves, especially toward the part of us that tends to overthink. If your mind often feels like a swirling storm of thoughts, racing with worries, what-ifs, and endless analysis, this meditation is especially for you. Together, we will learn to meet that busy mind not with judgment or frustration, but with warmth, acceptance, and kindness. Begin by finding a comfortable posture, whether seated or lying down. Let your body relax. Feel the surface supporting you, the chair, cushion, or bed beneath you. Allow your eyes to gently close if that feels safe and natural. Take a deep, full breath in and slowly exhale. Again, breathe in calm and peace. Breathe out tension and worry. Now, bring your attention softly to your breath. Notice the natural flow of your breathing, the rise and fall of your belly, the coolness of the air entering your nostrils, the warmth as it leaves. Let your breath be a gentle anchor, steady and reliable amidst the restless currents of your mind. As you breathe, you may notice thoughts beginning to arise. Perhaps a thought about something you must do, or a worry you've carried for days. That's okay. The mind's nature is to think, to wander, to create stories today. We will not try to stop the thoughts, nor will we chase after them. Instead, we will invite kindness toward the part of us that thinks too much, the overthinking mind. Imagine that your mind is a tired traveler, burdened by many heavy bags filled with worries, doubts, and what-ifs. This traveler moves quickly, afraid of resting, afraid of letting go, but the traveler is weary and in need of gentle care. Bring to mind this tired traveler within you, the restless mind. Allow yourself to feel compassion for it. It is doing its best with what it knows. It is trying to protect you, even if its methods cause tension and exhaustion. Repeat quietly, either in your mind or softly out loud. May you be safe. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you find rest with each phrase. Imagine your mind receiving this kindness like a warm light, soothing and softening its edges. Feel the warmth spreading from your heart to your mind, to the restless traveler inside. You might notice tension in your forehead, your jaw, or your shoulders. places where overthinking manifests physically. As you breathe in loving kindness, imagine this warmth melting away that tension with each exhale. Release the tightness. Continue to breathe deeply and gently, sending kindness to yourself. Know that you deserve this care and compassion. Your mind, your whole being is worthy of kindness, even the parts that feel troublesome or restless. Now, widen your circle of loving kindness to include your whole body. Say again, softly or mentally, may my body be safe. May my body be peaceful. May my body be free from suffering. May my body find rest. Feel the kindness flowing through your entire being, grounding you in calm presence. Shift your attention now to your emotions. Notice any feelings arising: anxiety, frustration, impatience, or maybe sadness. Acknowledge these feelings with compassion. Say silently, may my feelings be safe. May my feelings be peaceful. May my feelings be free from suffering. May my feelings find rest. Allow this kindness to cradle your emotions, softening their edges and inviting ease. Now, gently return your focus to the restless mind, the part that overthinks. Imagine this restless mind as a small child, nervous and unsure. It worries because it wants to keep you safe. Send it your kindness. Repeat: may this mind be safe. May this mind be peaceful. May this mind be free from suffering. May this mind find rest. Visualize your kindness as a warm, radiant light surrounding this restless mind. With each breath, this light grows brighter, more soothing. The mind begins to soften. The storm of thoughts calms to a gentle breeze. You may notice some thoughts still coming and going. This is natural. Instead of trying to stop them, watch them with the eyes of kindness and curiosity. Imagine each thought as a leaf floating on a calm river, passing by gently, not needing to be grabbed or pushed away. Return again and again to your loving kindness phrases, letting the kindness steady you. If frustration or impatience arises because your mind is busy, acknowledge those feelings with compassion. Say, may I be patient with myself. May I be gentle with my mind. May I be kind to myself. Let these words echo through your being. Feel how compassion breaks through the walls of resistance and judgment. It opens space for peace. Take a moment now to imagine a place where you feel completely safe and calm. It might be a garden, a beach, a quiet forest, or a cozy room. See yourself there. Feel the gentle warmth and serenity. Imagine your mind resting peacefully in this place, free from the noise of overthinking. Breathe in this peacefulness. Breathe out any remaining tension. Allow yourself to rest here, in this place of kindness and calm. Expand your loving kindness beyond yourself. Think of someone you care about deeply. Send them these wishes. May you be safe. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you find rest. Feel your heart opening with warmth and connection. Next, think of someone neutral, someone you neither like nor dislike. Send them the same wishes. This practice cultivates an open heart. If you feel ready, think of someone difficult or challenging. Try sending them kindness. Know that this does not mean condoning harm or pain, but releasing the hold of negativity on your heart. Say silently, may you be safe. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you be free from suffering. May you find rest. Feel your heart expanding as you practice unconditional compassion. Notice how kindness softens not only others, but also yourself. Return your attention now to your breath. Feel the gentle flow of air moving in and out. Let the breath be your anchor as you prepare to conclude this meditation. Take 3 deep, nourishing breaths. With each inhale, invite calm. With each exhale, release tension. When you feel ready, gently open your eyes or bring your awareness back to your surroundings. Take a moment to notice how you feel: calmer, kinder, more peaceful. Remember, this practice of loving kindness is always available whenever your mind feels overwhelmed by thoughts or worries. Return to kindness. Speak to yourself gently, as you would to a dear friend. May your heart be filled with compassion. May your mind find rest. May peace grow steadily within you. Thank you for sharing this practice today. May the warmth of loving kindness accompany you on every step of your journey. We explore a timeless Zen metaphor that teaches us about the nature of mental peace, how it is ungraspable yet ever present. This story is called "The Moon Cannot Be Stolen." Imagine a clear, still night. The sky is dark and vast, studded with shimmering stars. A full moon hangs luminous and radiant, its gentle light spilling over the land. The moonlight touches the trees, the river, and the mountains. It fills the world with a calm, soothing glow. Now, imagine a man walking by a quiet pond beneath this moonlit sky. As he passes by, he notices the moon's perfect reflection shimmering on the water's surface. Mesmerized, he leans over and reaches out his hand, eager to grasp the moonlight. He tries to catch the glowing circle in his palm, but the moonlight slips through his fingers, elusive and intangible. No matter how hard he tries, he cannot hold onto it. Frustrated, the man tries again and again. He splashes his hand through the water, disturbing the surface and scattering the reflection. The moon's image wavers and vanishes. At that moment, an old monk passing by stops and watches the man's futile effort. The monk smiles gently and says, "The moon cannot be stolen or held. It is not inside the water, nor in your hand. It shines freely in the sky, beyond grasp." The man looks up, following the monk's gaze to the moon above. He realizes something profound. The peace and beauty he sought were never in his grasp to begin with. They were always present, waiting quietly above, reflecting gently on the surface of the pond. His struggle to seize the moonlight only scattered the very peace he sought. This story holds deep wisdom about the nature of the mind and peace, that our minds often resemble the man reaching for the moon's reflection. We reach for calm by trying to capture or control our thoughts and feelings, grasping tightly at peace, security, or certainty. But peace is not a thing to hold. It is a quality of awareness that shines freely when we stop clinging in our daily lives. When the mind is clouded by worry, fear, or overthinking, we may try to push those thoughts away or forcefully hold onto good thoughts. Yet, this effort only stirs the water, creating ripples of tension and unrest. The more we try to grasp peace, the more it eludes us, like the moonlight on the pond. Peace is always present. It exists in the vast openness of awareness itself, beyond the content of our thoughts. When we stop struggling, when we relax the grip on our mental images and stories, we allow that calm to shine forth naturally. Pause here for a moment. Take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. Imagine your mind as the still pond, under the moonlight. Notice any ripples or disturbances on the surface. Talk with each exhale. Allow the water to settle. Allow your thoughts to soften and drift away like clouds passing across the night sky. Return your attention to the vast, peaceful space beneath the ripples. Now, consider what it means to grasp or cling in your own experience. Are there thoughts, feelings, or worries that you try to hold on to tightly? Are there ideas of how things should be that cause tension when reality feels different? Invite yourself to gently release that grip, not by forcing or rejecting, but by simply noticing the holding. See if you can soften around those places where you clutch or resist, like the man at the pond. Practice letting go of trying to capture peace. Instead, become the pond, vast, open, and still reflecting the moonlight of calm awareness. The moonlight, or peace, is not lost when ripples appear. Ripples come and go. The pond remains. So too with the mind. Waves of thought and feeling arise, move and fade. Beneath them lies the deep stillness of awareness, always present, unchanging. This story also reminds us of humility and patience in our practice. We cannot force peace or control the mind's wandering. Peace arrives when we gently open our hands and hearts to the present moment, exactly as it is. Let us now spend a few moments reflecting on these questions. What in your life are you trying to grasp or control that feels elusive? How might peace be waiting for you beyond your efforts to seize it? Can you imagine resting as the pond, spacious, receptive, and calm regardless of ripples? Breathe deeply. Feel the rhythm of your breath, natural and unforced, with each inhale. Welcome awareness. With each exhale, release any tension. Now, imagine yourself sitting beside a quiet pond beneath a full moon. Feel the cool night air on your skin. Hear the gentle sounds of water lapping softly at the shore. See the moon shining brightly, its light steady and serene. Know that this peaceful light is like the awareness within you, ever present and luminous. When the mind races or worries, picture the moon's reflection shimmering on the water. You cannot hold the reflection in your hand, and that's okay. Let it be free. Return your attention to your breath, steady and calm. Rest here for a few moments in the presence of your own peaceful awareness. As you continue on this journey, remember, the moon cannot be stolen and peace cannot be grasped, but peace can always be reflected in the openness of your mind and heart. Thank you for sharing this meditation and reflection today. May the wisdom of the moonlight guide you toward gentle, ungraspable peace. We explore one of the most profound teachings within Zen Buddhism, the nature of mind and reality itself. This teaching invites us to see the mind not only as the source of our suffering, but also as the gateway to freedom. By gaining a fresh perspective on the workings of the mind, especially in relation to overthinking, we open the door to deep healing and transformation. The mind, the source of suffering and freedom in Zen. The mind is often described as both the cause of suffering and the path to liberation. This paradox may seem puzzling at first. How can the same mind that traps us in cycles of worry and distraction also be the key to awakening? To answer this, we must first understand the nature of the mind and its relationship to reality. The mind creates our experience. At the heart of Zen teaching is the insight that our experience of reality is shaped by the mind. The mind interprets, judges, and creates stories about what we see, hear, feel, and think. These mental constructions color our perception. When the mind is restless, clouded, or attached to certain outcomes, we suffer. When the mind is clear, open, and accepting, peace arises. Imagine your mind like a mirror. A mirror reflects everything placed before it, yet the mirror itself remains unchanged. When the mirror is clean, the reflections are clear. When the mirror is dusty or cracked, the images become distorted. In the same way, the mind reflects reality, but can be clouded by habitual patterns, thoughts, emotions, and attachments that distort our experience. Overthinking as a cloud over the mind. Overthinking is like a thick fog or dense clouds obscuring the clear mirror of the mind. It is a mental habit where thoughts multiply, swirl, and pull our attention in many directions. We ruminate on the past, worry about the future, or spin endless what-if scenarios. This mental activity feels uncontrollable and overwhelming. In Zen, this restless mental activity is often referred to as monkey mind, the way the mind jumps quickly from one thought to another, never settling. This restless mind creates a false sense of separation from the present moment and obscures the true nature of reality. The nature of reality, impermanence, and emptiness. Zen teaches that reality itself is impermanent, fluid, and interconnected. Nothing exists independently or permanently. Everything arises in dependence on causes and conditions, constantly changing and flowing. This principle is known as anicca, or imp, E-R-M-A-N-E-N-C-E. It is one of the three marks of existence in Buddhist philosophy. Another fundamental teaching is emptiness, nyat, which means that things do not have an inherent fixed self or essence. What we perceive as things or self are actually transient phenomena arising from interconnected processes. This insight challenges the mind's habitual tendency to grasp and cling to fixed identities and concepts. Mind and reality are not separate. The mind and reality are deeply interconnected. Our perception shapes our reality, and our reality influences our perception. This interaction creates the tapestry of our lived experience. When the mind is clouded by overthinking and attachment, the reality we experience is distorted, leading to suffering. When the mind is calm and clear, we begin to perceive things as they are, free from judgment and distortion. Overthinking as a barrier to experiencing reality. Overthink is a barrier that prevents us from experiencing the present moment fully. When we are caught in a spiral of thoughts, we miss the direct experience of life as it unfolds. We live in mental projections instead of reality itself. Zen invites us to drop these projections. Instead of identifying with thoughts or trying to control them, we practice observing them as passing phenomena. This shift allows us to step out of the mental chatter and access the clarity and stillness beneath the mind as gateway to freedom. The same mind that produces overthinking can become the gateway to freedom through mindfulness and insight. By training the mind to be present and aware, we begin to loosen the grip of habitual patterns. We cultivate a spacious awareness that embraces whatever arises without clinging or aversion. This openness brings peace and clarity. Fresh perspective on overthinking. Zen invites a fresh perspective on overthinking rather than viewing it as a flaw or enemy. we see it as a natural activity of the mind that arises and passes like clouds in the sky. The mind's activity is not the problem. Our identification with it and resistance to it are. Imagine a river flowing swiftly. The current is natural and inevitable. Trying to stop the river would only create struggle. Instead, Zen invites us to become the river observer, watching the flow without trying to grasp or change it. Mindfulness, the path to clarity. Mindfulness is the practice that allows us to witness the mind's activity without getting caught in it. By observing thoughts, feelings, and sensations as they arise and pass, we create space between ourselves and our mental patterns. This space is freedom. Freedom to choose how we respond, rather than being swept away by automatic reactions. How to begin this journey. Cultivate gentle awareness throughout the day. Notice when the mind begins to race, rather than judging or pushing away these thoughts. Simply observe them. Label them if helpful: thinking, planning, worrying, judging. Bring your attention back to the breath or body sensations to anchor presence. Reflection. Nature of mind. Consider these reflections. How often do you identify with your thoughts as you? How does your mind shape your experience of reality? What happens when you try to hold on to or push away certain thoughts? Meditation invitation now. Take a few moments to sit quietly. Bring your attention to your breath. Observe the flow of thoughts as clouds passing through the sky of your mind. Notice without judgment or attachment. Let thoughts come and go freely, knowing you are the awareness in which they arise. Insights. From Zen masters. Zen masters have long taught that the mind is like water when calm. It reflects clearly. When disturbed, it becomes muddy. They teach that awakening is not about suppressing thoughts, but about resting in the natural clarity of mind beyond thought. The power of present moment awareness. Present moment awareness is the key to transforming our relationship with the mind. By coming back to what is here and now, our breath, created by mental projections. Final invitations. You continue on this path. Remember, the mind is not your enemy, but a tool. With mindful practice, the restless mind can become a gateway to deep peace. Each moment offers a fresh opportunity to see reality clearly and to rest in the natural clarity and stillness within. Thank you for sharing this teaching today. May you carry these insights gently with you as you move through the rest of your day. Today's meditation invites you to gently bring your awareness to the present moment by exploring the richness of your 5 senses. The senses are our direct link to the world around us. They offer a natural doorway into the here and now, a bridge from mental distraction into grounded presence. Overthinking and mental clutter arise when the mind drifts away, caught in the web of past regrets or future worries. By anchoring ourselves in the sensory experience of this moment, we open the possibility of dissolving that distraction. Allow yourself now to settle comfortably. You may be seated or lying down, whichever feels most natural and relaxing. Close your eyes if you wish, or lower your gaze gently. Begin by taking a few deep breaths, slow, full inhales, and soft, complete exhales. Feel the breath as it enters your body, nourishing, refreshing. Notice the breath as it leaves, releasing tension and fatigue. Let your breathing find its own natural rhythm, steady and calm. Now, softly bring your attention to your sense of touch. sense of touch. Feel the surface beneath you, supporting your body, whether it's a chair, cushion, or bed. Notice the weight of your body pressing down, the points of contact grounding you to the earth. Sense the texture of your clothing against your skin. Is it soft, coarse, smooth, cool, or warm? Without judgment or analysis, simply notice the sensations present right now. Perhaps there is a breeze or warmth from the room touching your skin. Feel the temperature, the subtle movements of air. Notice any areas of tension or ease. Allow yourself to sink more deeply into the sensations of your body, fully connected to this moment. If your mind wanders, that is okay. Kindly and gently bring it back to the feeling of touch, your awareness to the sense of hearing without seeking or straining. Listen to the sounds around you. What do you notice? Maybe the faint hum of distant traffic, birds outside, the rustle of leaves, or the subtle sound of your own breath. Sounds arise and pass away. Like waves in the ocean, each sound invites you back to this present moment. Notice the layers of sound, the near and the far, the loud and the soft. Avoid labeling sounds as good or bad. Simply hear them as they are. Allow the sounds to wash over you, grounding you in the here and now. If thoughts arise, observe them lightly and return your attention to the sounds sense of smell bring. Gentle attention now to your sense of smell. Even with eyes closed, your nose may pick up subtle scents. Maybe the fragrance of fresh air, a nearby candle, a flower, or the smell of your clothing. If you notice no distinct smell, that's also part of your present experience. Sense the openness of your nostrils and the awareness of this moment. Notice how scent can evoke memory, emotion, or simply be a neutral sensation. Return again and again to this sensory anchor. If your mind drifts, sense of taste shift your focus gently to the sense of taste. Without eating or drinking, bring your attention to the subtle taste in your mouth. It might be the lingering flavor of a recent meal, the freshness of your breath, or a neutral blankness. If you feel saliva in your mouth, notice its texture and taste. Allow this subtle sensation to connect you more deeply to your body and moment. Taste is often overlooked, but can be a powerful pathway to grounding attention. Invite curiosity about these sensations without forcing or trying to change them. Sense of sight with eyes open or closed. Finally, bring your awareness to the sense of sight and light in your environment. Allow your eyes to rest without focusing on any one thing. If your eyes are closed, imagine the darkness behind your eyelids. Notice any flashes of light, colors, or images that may appear. Observe the field of vision as a gentle space, open and spacious. Whether eyes are open or closed, sense the awareness that sees without judgment. Let your vision be a reflection of your present mind, calm and accepting. Full sensory awareness now, with all 5 senses. Rest in the fullness of this present moment. Feel the body supported. Hear the sounds flowing. Smell the subtle fragrances. Taste the sensations. See with open awareness. Sense the aliveness of this very moment. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go. Simply be here now, working with distraction. When the mind wanders, as it naturally will, notice the distraction without judgment. It might be a thought, an emotion, or a physical sensation. Greet the distraction kindly, then gently. Guide your attention back to one or more of your senses. Use the senses as a stable anchor to ground you. again in presence. No need to rush or force. The practice is one of gentle return, deepening the experiential, your breath and senses to become more vivid. Feel the rhythm of breathing as it connects you to the flow of life. Sense the body's subtle movements with each inhale and exhale. Notice the interplay of sensations, how one arises and fades, replaced by another. Experience the impermanence and fluidity of moment-to-moment awareness, mindfulness beyond meditation. Remember that this mindful presence is not limited to sitting practice. The five senses are available to you at any moment. Walking, eating, working, resting. Each moment invites full presence. The more you practice grounding awareness in the senses, the easier it becomes to let go of mental chatter and overthinking. The mind grows clearer. The heart softens. Peace arises naturally, inviting compassionate curiosity. As you continue to explore your senses, invite a spirit of curiosity and kindness. Be gentle with yourself. If the mind feels restless, there is no perfect meditation. Each moment is new. Each breath is a fresh opportunity to rest in awareness. Closing the practice now. Take a few more slow, deep breaths. Feel the calm and grounded presence you have cultivated. Allow this sense of grounded awareness to fill your entire being. When you are ready, settled, more connected to the present, carry this mindful presence with you as you move forward in your day. Thank you for sharing this meditation. May it bring you clarity, calm, and peace. In a quiet village, nestled between rolling hills and ancient forests, there lived a Zen master named Ryokan. Ryokan was known far and wide, not for grand feats or astonishing displays of wisdom, but for something much more profound and subtle. His smile was not forced or decorative. It was a smile born of deep presence, gentle, knowing curve of the lips that seemed to dissolve the heaviness of the world. People who met Ryokan often said that just one glimpse of his smile could quiet their restless minds and soothe their weary hearts. Ryokan's days were simple and unadorned. He rose with the sun, tending to his small garden, sweeping the temple grounds, and sharing humble meals with visitors. His life was free from extravagance or complexity, yet beneath this simplicity flowed a deep current of peace and clarity. One day, a young man named Taro came to visit Ryokan. Taro was a scholar from the city, burdened with restless thoughts and the constant noise of his own mind. He had heard stories of the Zen master's smile and hoped to find relief from his mental turmoil. When Taro arrived at the temple, he found Ryokan sitting quietly by a small stream. The master's eyes were closed, but his lips curved gently. In that familiar smile, Taro approached hesitantly and bowed. "Master Ryokan," he said, "I have come seeking peace. My mind is full of worries, endless thoughts that pull me in every direction. I cannot find rest. Please teach me how to quiet this chaos." Ryokan opened his eyes slowly and smiled warmly. "Come," he said, "sit with me by the stream." Taro sat down beside the master, still anxious and filled with questions. For a long while, neither spoke. They listened to the gentle murmur of water flowing over stones, the rustle of leaves in the breeze, the distant call of a bird. The world around them was alive with simple sounds and sensations. After some time, Ryokan turned to Taro and said, Tell me, what is it that troubles you so? Taro hesitated, then began to pour out his worries, the pressures of work, fears about the future, regrets from the past. His words tumbled out in a steady stream, mirroring the water beside them. When he finished, Ryokan looked at him kindly and said, "Your mind is like this stream." Taro was puzzled. Like the stream, master. But the stream flows freely, while my mind feels trapped, full of restless thoughts that never stop. Ryokan nodded. Yes, the stream flows, but it is also shaped by the stones it encounters, the bends it must follow, and the banks that contain it. Your thoughts are like the flow of water, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent. But the key is to notice the flow without trying to control or resist it. Taro frowned. But how can I stop the noise? How can I find stillness when my mind never rests? The master smiled again, the smile that seemed to carry the weightlessness of the sky. The stillness is always present beneath the flow, Ryokan explained. It is like the space beneath the water. You cannot see it directly, but it supports everything. When you stop struggling against the flow, you allow the stillness to be felt. Taro looked deeply into the water, trying to grasp the meaning. Ryokan continued. Your mind is filled with complexity thoughts about what has happened, what might happen, what should be. But true peace comes from simplicity, returning to what is here and now. Taro sighed, returning to what is, but I do not know how to do that. The master laughed softly, a sound like a gentle bell. You are trying too hard, he said. Sometimes the greatest wisdom is found in the simplest things. Ryokan reached out and picked up a single leaf from the ground. Look at this leaf, he said. What do you see? Taro looked carefully. The leaf was green with veins visible, like a tiny map. It was perfectly imperfect, some edges slightly torn, some spots faded. I see a leaf, Taro replied. And what else? Ryokan asked. It is alive, Taro said. It has texture and color. And yet, Ryokan said, if you hold on to it too tightly, it will crumble. If you try to force it to be something other than what it is, you miss its essence. The master held the leaf lightly and let it float down into the stream. The water carried it gently away. This leaf is like your thoughts and worries, Ryokan said. They come and go, appearing and disappearing like the leaf on the water. If you cling to them, your mind becomes heavy and tangled. But if you allow them to be, simply observing without grasping, your mind can smile like the flowing stream. Taro was silent for a moment. Then he smiled, faintly a smile, mirroring the master's. The rest of the day passed in quiet companionship, Taro observed. The world around him, the breeze brushing the trees, the soft light of the setting sun, the dance of shadows on the ground. With each moment, he felt his mind growing less cluttered, less frantic. He realized that the master's smile was not just an expression, but a state of being, a presence untouched by the noise of thought. As night fell, Taro bowed deeply to Ryo. Thank you, master, he said. I see now that peace is not found by fighting the mind, but by opening to what is, simply and gently. Ryokan smiled once more. The mind is like the sky, he said. Clouds may gather, but the sky remains vast and clear. Your mind, too, has this vastness. Your task is not to chase away the clouds, but to recognize the sky behind them. Taro left the temple with a new awareness. Over the coming days, whenever he felt the mind pulling him into anxious thought, he remembered the leaf, the stream, and the sky. He practiced returning to simple presence, feeling the breath, sensing the body, noticing the senses. The mental chatter did not vanish overnight, but it lost its grip. The mind could rest in spaciousness. Reflection, the Zen master's smile, teaches us the power of presence and simplicity in a world filled with complexity and mental noise. We often try to control or escape our thoughts, but wisdom invites us to stop struggling and to rest gently in the natural flow of awareness. Like the leaf floating on the stream, thoughts come and go, like the sky behind the clouds. Our mind holds vast openness beyond the fleeting mental waves. Cultivating this awareness dissolves complexity and mental chatter, revealing the smile of peaceful presence within. Invitation to practice as you continue your day. Pause to notice the small moments, the touch of air on your skin, the sound of your breath, the sensations in your body. When thoughts arise, greet them with kindness, as if you were watching leaves floating on a stream. Allow yourself to rest in the spaciousness behind the mind's activity. Smile gently, knowing that peace is always available in the simplicity of presence. One of the deepest challenges in the human experience is the desire to control. We live in a world filled with uncertainty, change, and unpredictability. And naturally, the mind seeks security, to plan and predict so that it can feel safe. Yet, this very urge to control becomes the root of much mental turmoil, the endless overthinking, anxiety, and restlessness that clutter the mind and steal peace. Zen teachings offer a profound insight. True peace is found not in control, but in surrender. The nature of control and overthinking. To understand how control and overthinking connect, consider this. When we try to control the future or resist the present moment, the mind begins spinning stories, what-ifs, and worst-case scenarios. We replay past mistakes, rehearse conversations, or imagine outcomes that have not yet come to pass. This mental looping is overthinking, a ceaseless attempt to grasp what cannot be grasped. Overthinking is a sign that the mind is grasping for control, desperately trying to secure an outcome to avoid pain, uncertainty, or discomfort. Yet, paradoxically, this effort creates more suffering. The harder we try to control, the more we suffer from the reality that things are often beyond our power. The illusion of control feels necessary because it promises safety and predictability. But in truth, control is an illusion. The world and our lives are inherently dynamic and uncertain. Events unfold in ways we cannot fully predict or manage. Weather changes, relationships evolve, health fluctuates, and opportunities arise and vanish. Trying to hold on to any fixed plan or expectation is like clutching water in your hand. The tighter you grasp, the more it slips away. This illusion of control is a source of tension. It binds us to outcomes and robs us of the freedom to respond fluidly to what is. Surrender, as the antidote's arrender, is often misunderstood as giving up or resignation. But in Zen, surrender is an active, courageous choice to accept what is without resistance. It is the willingness to let go of rigid expectations and open to the flow of life. Surrender is not passivity, but a deep engagement with reality as it unfolds. When we surrender control, we align ourselves with the present moment, with whatever is. This alignment brings peace. The flow of water, metaphor imagine, a river flowing over rocks and bends. If the water tries to fight the rocks, to push them aside, or force a straight path, it creates turbulence and splashing. But if the water yields, flows around the obstacles, and adapts its shape, it moves with grace and ease. Our mind's desire for control is like the water resisting the rocks. Surrender allows us to flow smoothly through life's challenges, reducing mental resistance and turbulence. How control fuels overthinking. The mind tries to control outcomes. It often does so by planning endlessly, analyzing every detail, and imagining countless scenarios. This activity, the overthinking, becomes a false attempt at mastery. It convinces us that by thinking harder or longer, we can secure safety or success. But overthinking fractures the present moment. It drags us into the future or past, away from what is. It exhausts our mental energy and increases stress. In truth, no amount of mental activity can guarantee outcomes. Overthinking is an expression of fear of uncertainty, failure, or loss. Recognizing this fear is the first step toward letting go. The practice of letting go of control is a practice, not a one-time act. It begins with awareness, noticing when the mind tightens around expectations or fixates on outcomes. The next step is to gently release the grip. This might look like acknowledging that uncertainty is part of life, trusting in your ability to respond rather than to preempt, using the breath as an anchor when worries arise, practicing acceptance of emotions and thoughts without clinging through these steps. Describe this release as non-attachment, indifference, but freedom from grasping. Attachment invites us to engage fully with life, but without being chained to specific outcomes. It is like holding a flower gently, appreciating its beauty without trying to own or control it. When we embrace non-attachment, overthinking fades. We begin to see thoughts as passing clouds, not storms we must weather or control. Practical examples: consider daily life situations. When facing an important decision, overthinking can trap us in paralysis. Instead of endlessly analyzing, surrender invites us to gather necessary information, make a choice, and trust the process. In relationships, we might try to control others' behavior or emotions. Surrender means accepting people as they are, releasing the need to fix or manage them. In health or career concerns, the future is uncertain. Letting go of control opens us to adapting creatively rather than worrying endlessly. Surrender cultivates resilience. Letting go of control is not only about peace, but also about resilience. When we surrender, we build inner flexibility. We can meet change and challenge with calmness rather than rigidity. This resilience allows us to recover from setbacks more easily, like the bamboo that bends in the wind. Surrender is strength through softness. The role of mindfulness. Mindfulness supports surrender by anchoring us in present awareness. When the mind is mindful, it notices when control arises and invites letting go. Mindfulness teaches us to observe thoughts and feelings without getting entangled. This observation creates a space where surrender naturally arises. The path to peace. Letting go of control is a doorway to profound peace. It releases the tension of trying to fix what cannot be fixed. It softens the mental noise that fuels anxiety and overthinking. It opens the heart to. On this teaching, consider where in your life you are holding too tightly. Where is the mind caught in trying to control? What fears underlie this grasping? Imagine loosening your grip, opening your hands, and letting the flow of life move through you. Practice resting in the spaciousness that surrender invites. Guided practice suggestion in your meditation. Try this. Begin with grounding breath. Bring to mind a situation where you feel the urge to control. Notice the thoughts and feelings that arise. Without judgment, invite a gentle release. Imagine your grip loosening. Return to your breath, feeling the openness and calm that arises. Repeat as needed. Remember, letting go of control is not about giving up. It is about gaining freedom. Freedom from the prison of mental struggle. Freedom to live with openness, curiosity, and peace. May this teaching inspire you to relax into the flow of life and find the quiet joy beyond the need to control. This session will guide you gently to release the grip of control, allowing you to open your heart and mind to the natural unfolding of life. Together, we will explore breath, visualization, and awareness to cultivate a deep sense of surrender and a grounded trust in the flow of existence. Begin by finding a comfortable position, whether seated or lying down. Allow your body to settle fully. Feel the surface beneath you, supporting your weight. Gently close your eyes if that feels right, or soften your gaze. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs completely, and then exhale fully through your mouth, releasing any tension. Let your breath return to its natural rhythm. With each breath, feel yourself becoming more present in this moment. As you inhale, invite calm and openness. As you exhale, let go of any tightness or resistance. Notice your body as it rests. Observe any sensations, warmth, coolness, pressure, ease, without judgment. Simply allow your awareness to be like soft light bathing your whole body. Now, gently bring your attention to the rhythm of your breath. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your belly or chest as you breathe naturally. This breath is your anchor, a steady, dependable presence amid change. Notice how each inhale invites life and energy into your body, and each exhale releases what is no longer needed. As you breathe, begin to notice any places where your mind might be holding on tightly, perhaps, to a thought, a worry, a plan, or a desire for control. See if you can observe these hold points with kindness and curiosity. You do not need to push anything away or pull anything closer. Just notice the grip. Imagine now that you have a hand around a rope, tightly holding on with your next exhale. Invite your hand to gently loosen its grip. Feel the muscles soften. The rope may slip a little, and that's okay. Notice the relief in your arm, your shoulder, your whole body as the tension begins to dissolve. Allow this image to deepen, as if you are learning to release control, little by little, trusting that the rope will not pull you into harm, but instead guide you gently along the path. Know that releasing your grip is not losing your way, but gaining freedom. Now, visualize yourself standing beside a river. The water flows steadily, endlessly, effortlessly. You cannot stop the river, nor can you fully control where it goes. Yet, you can stand at the river's edge, feeling the coolness of the breeze, hearing the gentle rush of water. There is peace in this presence, in being alongside the flow. Imagine stepping into the river. Feel the water flowing around your feet and legs. The current is steady and sure. You do not fight it. You do not try to hold it back. Instead, you allow yourself to be carried, supported by the strength of the water as you move with the current. Notice the freedom that comes from surrendering to the flow. The river's journey is natural, unpredictable, beautiful. You trust it will carry you where you need to be. Bring this feeling of surrender into your breath now. With every inhale, invite openness. With every exhale, release control. Feel your whole body becoming lighter, more fluid. Perhaps there are thoughts or worries arising. See them as leaves floating on the river's surface. Watch them drift by, neither grabbing nor pushing them away. Return your attention to the breath and the sensation of flowing. Notice the difference between holding tightly and letting go. Holding creates tension, resistance. Letting go invites peace, ease. Allow yourself to rest in this ease now. Gently bring to mind a situation in your life where you feel the need to control or resist. It may be a relationship, a decision, a challenge, or an uncertain future. See if you can hold this situation lightly in your mind. Breathe into this awareness. Notice any tightness or discomfort arising with your exhale. Imagine softening around this tension. Release your need to control the outcome. Allow space for possibilities. As you breathe, invite trust into your heart. Trust in your inner wisdom. Trust in the unfolding of life. Trust in your capacity to meet whatever comes with courage and calm. Repeat silently to yourself or aloud if you wish. I surrender to the flow of life. I trust the journey even without knowing the path. I am safe in this moment. Feel these words settling deep in your being. Let them wash over you like gentle waves. Return your awareness now to the breath. Feel the steady rhythm, the life force flowing through you. Each breath a renewal, each breath a reminder of your connection to the present. If your mind drifts to worries or plans, gently guide it back to the breath. No need for frustration, only gentle return. Each return is a practice of surrender. Now, bring your attention to your body once more. Notice any areas that feel tense or constricted. Breathe warmly into those places. With each exhale, release and soften. Feel the growing space within you, a spaciousness that embraces all feelings and experiences without needing to change or fix them. This spaciousness is freedom. Imagine yourself resting in this space. Here, there is no need to control. Here, there is trust. Here, there is peace. Allow yourself to rest deeply in this surrender. Feel the calmness spreading through your body and mind. Know that you can return to this feeling whenever you wish, simply by coming back to your breath and your awareness. Take a few more deep breaths, savoring the peace and trust you have cultivated. When you are ready, gently begin to bring your awareness back to the room. Notice the sounds around you, the feeling of the surface beneath you. Wiggle your fingers and toes gently. If your eyes are closed, slowly open them. Take this feeling of surrender and trust with you as you move through your day. Remember, surrender is not giving up, but a courageous act of opening. Trust is not passive, but an active engagement with life as it is. May you carry these gifts with you. Thank you for joining this meditation. May your path be smooth. your heart open and your mind calm. This story and reflection on resilience and flexibility, a lesson told through the simple yet profound parable of the oak and reed. This ancient tale invites us to consider how our relationship to change and challenge shapes our inner stability and peace. Let us begin by settling into a calm and receptive state, bringing gentle awareness to your breath and body. Allow your mind to open like the reed in the story, ready to receive the wisdom it offers. In a quiet meadow, where the wind whispered softly through the grass and the sun filtered through the clouds, stood a great oak tree. Its trunk was thick and sturdy, its branches reaching skyward in majestic strength. Nearby, swaying gracefully in the breeze, stood a slender reed. The reed was thin, flexible, and easily bent by the gentlest wind, bowing low yet never breaking. One day, a strong storm approached the meadow. The wind grew fierce and wild. The oak stood firm, bracing itself against the howling gusts. The reed, however, bent low and danced with the wind, yielding to its force. As the storm raged, the mighty oak resisted, refusing to bend or yield. Its branches creaked under the pressure, and the trunk strained with the force of the wind. The reed, by contrast, continued to bow and sway, moving with the storm's rhythm without resistance. When the storm passed, the oak had suffered broken branches and was weakened by its struggle. The reed, though bent and bowed, stood upright, unharmed and serene. This simple story holds profound wisdom about the nature of resilience and the power of flexibility in the face of life's inevitable storms. The oak, representing strength and steadfastness, symbolizes a mindset that resists change and holds rigidly to ideas, emotions, or control. This rigidity, while seemingly solid, becomes brittle when confronted with forces beyond its control. The reed, delicate and yielding, embodies a flexible approach, one that does not fight the current of change but flows with it, adapting without losing its essence. Consider how this story reflects your own experience. Are there areas where you have been like the oak, standing firm, resisting the winds of change, gripping tightly to how things should be? Does this resistance bring you safety and strength, or does it leave you strained, brittle, and vulnerable to breakage? Or perhaps there are moments when you have been like the reed, bending with circumstances, flowing with challenges, allowing change to move through you with grace. How does this flexibility feel? Is it a source of freedom or weakness? The lesson here is not that one must always yield or always resist, but that true resilience arises from knowing when to stand firm and when to bend. Rigidity in thought, emotion, or behavior can lead to suffering. When reality shifts, flexibility, rooted in a deep awareness and acceptance of impermanence, allows us to move through difficulty without being broken. Imagine yourself as the reed in the wind. Feel your body becoming fluid, able to bend and sway with life's currents. You are rooted, grounded in your values, your truth, yet flexible enough to adapt, to release tension, to surrender control when holding on no longer serves. Now, picture the oak, see its strength and grandeur. Honor its courage to stand firm, yet notice the cost when the wind does not relent. Is there wisdom in knowing that sometimes strength is found not in resistance, but in yielding? As you reflect on this parable, consider how overthinking often arises from a rigid mind trying to control and fix outcomes. The oak represents this rigidity, unyielding mental habits, fixed ideas, attachment to certainty. Overthinking can exhaust and fracture us. Much like the storm breaking the oak's branches, the reed's way is to move with the changing winds of thought, to observe without grasping, to accept without clinging. This story invites a gentle inquiry. Where can you cultivate more flexibility in your mind and heart? Where might you soften your grip, loosen your assumptions, and allow the natural flow of life to move you? Notice the sensation of breathing here. Inhale deeply, inviting ease and openness. Exhale fully, releasing tension and resistance. Each breath is like the wind, inviting you to move with it, to bend without breaking in the quiet space of your awareness. You may begin to sense the strength in flexibility, a resilience that arises not from holding tight, but from flowing freely. Remember, the reed's resilience is not weakness. It does not deny its essence, but honors it by adapting. It is both gentle and strong. This is the heart of mindful resilience. As you carry this teaching forward, may you find balance between standing firm and yielding. May you learn to trust the flow of life, to embrace change with grace, and to release the burdens of rigid control. This story is an invitation to embody the wisdom of the reed, flexible, grounded, resilient, dancing with life's storms and finding peace within. Thank you for being present with this parable. May its lesson inspire calm, strength, and gentle surrender in your journey. Welcome to this final segment, a time of gentle reflection and deep rest. As you arrive here now, allow yourself to fully settle. There is nothing to do but be present with this moment, exactly as it is. Take a slow, deep breath in. Feel the fullness of the air entering your lungs, nourishing your body. Hold it briefly, then release the breath gently, allowing any tension to melt away with the outflow. Breathe again, long, slow, smooth. This is your time to rest, to integrate all the wisdom, stories, and teachings you have received on this journey. Think back on the moments that stood out most to you, perhaps the quiet stillness of the breath, the parables that spoke to your heart, the gentle invitations to soften and flow. Each teaching and story has been a seed planted in your awareness, seeds that with patience and care will grow into deeper understanding, compassion, and peace. Imagine these seeds now taking root in the fertile soil of your mind. Feel the ground beneath you, solid and steady, supporting your body and spirit. From this foundation, growth can happen naturally and effortlessly as you breathe. Notice any thoughts or feelings arising. Do not push them away or cling to them. Simply observe with kind curiosity. Each thought is like a leaf floating down a stream, appearing briefly before drifting on. Your mind is like the sky, vast, open, and clear beneath passing clouds. Recall how the teachings throughout this practice have invited you to rest beyond the chatter of the mind, to return again and again to the breath as an anchor, to meet change and challenge with gentle resilience, to hold compassion for yourself and others. Feel gratitude for this journey, for the courage it takes to look inward, to open the heart, and to embrace whatever arises. There is healing in presence. There is freedom in acceptance. There is peace in letting go. Now, begin to soften the edges of your awareness, as if the light of the day is slowly dimming and night's calm embrace is drawing near. Allow your body to feel heavier, sinking deeper into comfort. Release any remaining tension in your muscles. The shoulders drop, the jaw relaxes, the brow smooths. Your whole being becomes a vessel of calm. Picture a gentle wave of warmth and peace flowing from the top of your head, slowly moving down through your face, neck, shoulders, arms, chest, abdomen, legs, and feet. With each exhale, the wave washes away any remaining stress or worry. You feel held, safe, and deeply relaxed. In this state, your mind grows quiet, like a still lake, undisturbed by wind, like a clear night, sky filled with soft stars. The busy thoughts that once crowded your awareness dissolve into the background. Only gentle silence remains. There is no need to do or achieve anything here. No goals or expectations, simply the profound gift of being fully present, fully at peace. If sleep comes to you naturally now, allow it. Rest deeply, allowing your body and mind to rejuvenate and heal. If you remain awake, carry this calm presence with you through the rest of your day or night. Know that the wisdom and peace you have touched in this practice are always within you. They are part of your true nature, waiting to be accessed whenever you return to the breath and the present moment. Feel the subtle energy of compassion, kindness, and openness radiating within you. This energy is a healing balm for emotional pain, mental clutter, and restless thinking. It nourishes your whole being. Recall the stories you heard, the resilience of the bamboo and the oak, the calm presence of the Zen master, the flowing river. They remind us that life's challenges are opportunities for growth, and peace is found not by resisting, but by embracing. Allow these stories to settle softly in your heart. Let their teachings deepen your trust in the natural flow of life. Take a moment now to silently offer gratitude to yourself for taking this time, for your willingness to explore and heal, for your innate capacity to find calm amidst chaos. If you wish, bring your hands gently to your heart in a gesture of thanks and self-love. Feel the warmth of your own touch, a reminder that compassion begins with caring for yourself. As this session comes to a close, know that you can return anytime to the breath, to these stories, and to the stillness within. This practice is a lifelong companion, a beacon of peace you carry wherever you go. Take one final deep breath in, full and nourishing. Hold it softly, then release completely, allowing your body and mind to sink even deeper into rest. Rest now in this quiet sanctuary of your own being, in the stillness. Find renewal in the silence. Find freedom in the peace. Find yourself. May you awaken, refreshed, clear, and compassionate. May the lessons you have received unfold gently over time, and may you carry the gift of calm presence into every moment. Thank you for joining this journey. May your path be filled with peace, love, and wisdom. Namaste. This concludes the guided closing reflection and restful silence segment.